G'day guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we're going through my round 12 AFL tips plus predictions. Sir Doug Nicholas round did wrap up two great weeks of cool Indigenous jerseys and very cool pre-games. So yeah, hopefully it's another good round, and yeah, let's get into the tips. Let's get started in the review. So, this week I got 6 out of 9. Did pretty well. There are a few games that I was initially going to tip, but I sort of changed it. In this game, went with the Swans by 18, got the correct scoreline for the correct result. I just thought that Sydney probably were the better team. They were in the end. Yeah, there was probably a controversial free kick in the end there. But I still think that Sydney would have won anyway. But yeah, credit to the Dogs that definitely turned up. Now, I say I got 6 out of 9, and we are back on Super Brew, by the way. ESPN counts as 6 out of 9 because draws count on that website. But if you get, you need to exactly tip a draw on this website to get the correct scoreline and the correct result. So I went the Pars by 20. They were sort of robbed in the end, that you just can't be giving away that free kick, especially when it's a tight game. Freo had the momentum. You just can't give him that free kick. I mean, what else was he supposed to do? The umpire was like a good, good 10 metres away. He probably couldn't even see the umpire. So that's why, if you don't know what I mean, go check it out. The rest of the game, the highlights, Freo got a goal, stupid goal off of Sean Darcy, because the Collingwood player passed it to another Collingwood player, then the Collingwood player passed it to the umpire, but the Collingwood player initially was supposed to pass it to the umpire. I'm not going to go deep into it, but credit to Freo, you definitely take that more if you're a Freo fan, even though they probably were lucky not to lose in the end because Pies had the more scoring shots and that unlucky free kick. Thought maybe the Suns would upset the Blues. I think that, even though that I did tip the Suns, there was only 29-point margin. It wasn't that bad. That fourth quarter was a bit disappointing, to be honest. I was just watching the poor game, actually, because, it sort of got a bit boring in the end. But, went with the Suns by 15, didn't get that one there. Went with the Power by 29. I thought North Melbourne would play a pretty good 4 quarters competitive, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. They won by 59 there. Then I thought I'd go with the Cats over the Giants at GMHBA. This is a real 50-50 game, but I just thought the home ground advantage really comes into it. But now Geelong, they were 7-0, and just like that, they are 7-4. They are in some terrible form, and Giants, they need that win to get back on track. So, credit to the Giants there. Went with Essendon by 33. I definitely thought the Richmond would give a response back, but not as much as making it 12 points. They were amazing, Richmond. They just probably were a bit unlucky in the end, but Essendon, the better team, much better performance. Went with the Lions. Again, this was sort of a 50-50 game because Brisbane haven't been going too well this season, but the Hawks, as we know, they can pull off these upset victories, and it's pretty disappointing for a Brisbane fan because this was a game you easily could have lost, but I think the way they lost it was disappointing. They were down quite big in this game. Went with Melbourne by 38. They actually won by 41. Pretty happy that I got this tip correct. Actually, I'm not happy that I got this tip correct, but I got the correct scoreline. I don't even care anymore. We're just playing horrible. I don't care if we win or lose. I just want to see a good 4 quarters consistency and we can actually score. We just can't even score. We bottom 4. It's just dismal if we're a Saints fan. Credit to Melbourne there. And then I went with the Crows by 19. They actually won by 99. Probably, there were a few excuses. They did have to travel, the Eagles, and they probably they didn't even need to win this game. But it was pretty disappointing, though. They probably should have made it. They probably should have turned up a bit better. I wasn't expecting it to be any more than 60 points with the form that they are in. But it was. So, credit to the Crows. And, that's going to wrap up that round. Now, let's preview our games here and get into tipping. So, Thursday night footy at the Adelaide Oval. We have Port Adelaide taking on the Carlton Blues. This should be a pretty good contest. Both sides are on similar form. Even though Carlton, they did get that win over the Suns, they aren't on the best form at the moment. I think in that game, they were just the better team. I thought I'd go with the Suns with the upset, but they were just too good. They had a good start to the game. I wasn't able to watch the first quarter, unfortunately, because I was out, but they did have a good start. And Port, on the other hand, they had a nice, convincing victory at Blundstone Arena against the Roos. Thought they'd struggle a bit, but they managed to pull away. I think this is a 50-50 game. I'm starting to debate this because if Carlton had lost to the Suns last week, I think I'd be easily going with Port. And Port did beat North Melbourne quite comfortably, but can you make much out of that? No, not really, because North Melbourne are 0-11 at the end of the day. I'm going to go with the Power. I think they are the favourites coming into this. I just think the home factor does it. I think when you got two 50-50 sides, I think you just got to tip the home side. And Port Adelaide, they've probably been playing just a bit better. They sit 4th or 3rd on the ladder. I'm not sure. I got off the Power to get a 14-point win. I think it should be a pretty close game, but I just think that the Power, they'll be looking to win this to try and keep their top 4 hopes alive, and I certainly think they can make it if they do win this game. That means they'll be like 8-4 or something. So yeah, I'll back in Port to get the job done over Carlton by 14. Then Friday night, what two good Friday nights games we have? We have Collingwood taking on the Dogs. Now, Collingwood with the draw last week, they've got 2 draws in a season. I can't remember the last team that had 2 draws in a season. It'll be quite a while back now. Well, others, the Dogs, they played pretty good against Sydney. They were consistent in quarters. They were still able to score. But I think the Swans, they were just the better team. And yeah, maybe that 50 was controversial, but I think Sydney would have won it. Pies, they're just in so much good form. Little bit lackluster against Freo. They were inaccurate, so they probably should have won. And obviously that stupid free kick. But even though it was at Optus, they looked a bit vulnerable. And for me, the Dogs, they just played so good at Marvel. I feel like they'll respond. So I'm actually going to tip the Dogs. It may be risky, but I think there were some people tipping them against the Swans, and they actually gave a good performance. I'm not saying Collingwood, they're in a form slump or anything, because they're not, but I just have faith in the Dogs. I feel like the Dogs, they can pull off this upset like they did against GWS. They can pull out random results. Go with the Dogs to win this one by 13 points. I think that they'll get the job done. Bit of a risky tip, but I still think that the Dogs, I think they'll be looking to win this one, because then if they do win that does set them up for finals pretty nicely. So I think they do have I think their tough run's almost coming to an end. But I go with the Dogs by 13 just to end Collingwood's streak of pretty much, well, you could pretty much say 7 games with 2 draws in there. But yeah, I think that Pies' good run will come to an end. And Dogs by 13 in a bit of an upset. Then Saturday, Arvo, we have the Hawks taking on the Crows at the MCG. Now, because this game is at the MCG, I really do think this is 50-50. If this was at the Adelaide Oval, where obviously the Crows thrashed the Eagles, and Hawthorn, they just lost to Port in those dying seconds. I think, again, these are 2 evenly ranked sides, and the winner here will overtake each other, I'm pretty sure. I think it's at the MCG. Hawthorn always play this good footy in May. Most people think Hawthorn's a bottom 4 side. They end up finishing there at the end of the year. But for some reason, they just play this good footy in May or June, around this point of the year, this mid-season point. And they always look like they're going to make the top 8 from here. Then they always fall off. I'm actually going to back in the Hawks. I think this is going to be a similar year. I generally do think with the way they play Brisbane, they were just exceptional. I think they'll get the victory here. I really do. I think the MCG factor brings a lot. We can't discredit Adelaide for their performance against West Coast, but I got the Hawks to get a 19-point win. And yeah, if they win this, the Hawks, they may be looking at finals after an 0-5 start, because I think now they do win this, they'll go 5-6 or something, and yeah, they're ahead of my Saints now. So I got the Hawks by 19. I think they're playing some exceptional footy, and yeah, they should have been the power in that game, so I think they're going to be winning this game. Nothing on Adelaide at all, but I think the Hawks, they're just playing a bit better at the moment. I'll tip them to win by 19. Then up to Stadium, I will be attending this game, obviously, since it is in Perth. It's my Saints taking on the Eagles, and to be honest with you, I've just lost full faith in my club. Yeah, we were playing a good opposition against Melbourne, who did lose to West Coast the week before, which doesn't help the point, but we knew they were going to respond. They responded massively. It's just disappointing. We were down by as much as, I think, 58 in that game. As you can see, our form's pretty poor. We're loss, win, loss. So 6 losses and 1 win. The Eagles, on the other hand, they're in a bit more better form. They had that massive 99-point loss to the Adelaide Crows, but maybe that's just a little outlier. I feel like the Collingwood game and the Adelaide Crows game just a little bit of an outlier, but they are poor away from home, the Eagles, but they're a different side at home, and to be honest, they're versing the Saints, who can't score. I actually have more faith in West Coast to win this game. I know I usually do tip us against these bottom four sides. I backed us in against Hawthorn. We didn't get the job done there, and don't get me wrong, Hawthorn playing good footy. I know the Eagles were disappointing against the Crows, but they're a different side at home. I feel like they can, if they win this game, they can almost make Optus Stadium a bit of a mini fortress. So I'm actually going to be tipping the Eagles. I know I'm going to this game, but I just don't have any faith, in my side. I think the odds are actually favouring the Eagles. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Eagles by 16. I think that they're just playing the better footy. I do sort of think we will win deep down, but I think just for the tip, I think it's sort of safe if I actually go with West Coast. I think they're playing good. And yeah, they can actually score when they're playing at home. I think it's different that they're playing at home. So I'm going with the Eagles to win by 16. And yeah, I think my side needs a big kick up the arse. So yeah, they'll certainly give us a big kick up the arse. And yeah, West Coast by 16. Then at GMHBA Stadium, we have the Cats taking on the Tigers. Now, the Tigers, they just get more disappointing each week, although it was a much better performance against the Bombers, and now I think they've lost about 8 games in a row or something, and their only win's been against Sydney. Like, how? Sydney have only lost one game, and that's been to Richmond, and Richmond have only one game, and that's been to Sydney. So, yeah, it's a weird season, this one. But the Cats, they aren't doing much better at the moment. They are 4 losses on the bounce. And yeah, this is sort of becoming a 50-50 game. I still think that you would back in Geelong here, but you just never know. Even though this is at GMHBA and how disappointing Richmond have been, performances like that against the Bombers, you never know who they could turn up. But surely the Cats win. Surely the Cats, after going 7-0, don't go 7-5. And they could be in danger of missing the 8. I know it probably won't happen, but you would be disappointed with the way that they have been playing. I know they've been playing some good oppositions, but geez, you just need to think that Geelong would bounce back. They need a win. They need a massive win here. I think it should be a pretty sound, easy win. But you can't discredit how good the Tigers are playing. I'm going to go with the Cats by 36, 6 goals. I think that just at GMHBA, surely they win this. If they lose this game, I don't even think GMHBA is really a home ground advantage anymore. I know that's harsh, but I seriously think you can't lose to Richmond at home. So surely they win this. I'm going to go with the Cats by 36. But I still think Richmond will put up a good fight. But I think the Cats are just more experienced at the moment. They're the better team. Back at them in there. Anyways, at Traeger Park, we have another game at TIO. This time it's not the Gold Coast Suns playing there. We have the Sunday Arvo game between Melbourne and Freo. Both sides on pretty similar form. Where the Dockers, their loss, win, and a draw. Melbourne, on the other hand, they are loss, and a win. They were much better against my Saints on the weekend, Melbourne. They needed a massive response. They did. They ended up winning that game by 38. Really could have won it by more, especially in that first quarter. After we kicked the first goal, it looks like we were going to be competitive. It looks like one of those games where we'll just kick the first 2, and then we'll basically be competitive, and then we'll kick some late and really get back into it. But we'll still lose. That wasn't the case. Melbourne really pulled away in those pretty much for those last 15 minutes of the first quarter and the second and third. Fourth quarter was a bit disappointing, but they had won the game, so they didn't need to pull off. Fremantle, they were pretty good. Got a bit lucky against Collingwood. Probably shouldn't have won with how inaccurate they were, the Pies and that free kick. So, yeah, I think Collingwood were just the better team, but you do have to credit their performances in their last week against top teams. They have just been exceptional. It's at Traeger Park, so you just don't know. I remember that Melbourne lost this game to the Giants when the Giants went in the best form. That's pretty much when the Giants had their run. It's tough. Should I tip a draw? No, I think that's stupid. I think that we've had too many draws this year. I'm going to back in the D's to get it done by 2 points. Stuff it. We're going with a very, very close margin. I think this is a 50-50 game, but at the end of the day, I think Melbourne, they're looking to make top 4. They're looking to hold a final spot. I just feel like they win games like this, but you can't discredit Freo with the way they've been playing this season. But I think Melbourne, they'll win. It's a neutral ground, but I still think they'll get the job done by 2 points in a 50-50 game there. And then the last game of the round, because the Buys do start this round, which is, again, annoying. I don't like the opening round, and I know it's not because of that. I know it's the mid-season buys, but now we're seeing two teams getting 2 buys in one season. I know the matches, everyone just plays the same amount of games. It's just weird. Anyways, the Suns taking on the Dons. Well, the Dons, they have been very good. They have won, technically, they have won 7 games in a row with that draw. So they're just playing pretty good at the moment. Meanwhile, the Suns, they're not on bad form. Probably was disappointing the way they did lose to Carlton in the in the end, but at the end of the day, they are versing the Blues. This one is I believe at People First Stadium. I know it says to be confirmed, but I have seen on the AFL app and in ESPN's footy tipping. Oh, this is tough because I feel like the Bombers, they can slip up these games. I'm going to tip the Bombers. I seriously don't think they'll... I seriously think this is a danger game. I got with Essendon by 17, but I feel like this is a danger game because I don't think the Suns have lost a game at home this season. I think I'm pretty sure they are undefeated, and I think they are yet to get a win away from home. So that makes sense, but I'm going to go with the Bombers by 17. I think they're just the better team at the end of the day, but you just never know. So yeah, go with Essendon by 17, but I feel like the Suns, they could definitely upset them there. So, my tips, I went with Port by 14, the Dogs by 13 in an upset, Hawthorn by 19 in a little upset, West Coast by 16 again, it's sort of another upset, the Cats by 36, Melbourne by 2 and Essendon by 17. So yeah, shortage of games these weeks, but anyway, I hope you did enjoy this video, and yeah, please do hit the like and subscribe button if you wish. See more content coming out, and yeah, let me know about my tips and what content you would like to see in future videos. Thank you, by the way, for getting me to 84 subscribers. Let's keep building on the channel. I am looking to make upgrades and finding new ways to keep making these videos better, and yeah, thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you guys later.